Another mission with 4 like-minded mates, full of endurance and delight in what would have to be said variable, sketchy snow conditions.
This year took us to Rex Simpson Hut, a private hut owned by Alpine Recreation, with good enough access to tempt you into carrying far too much food up the hill. The plan seemed simple. A short walk in, maybe an hour or two. The reality, over 3 hours, 500 metres of climbing, heavy ski gear, and enough fresh food to open a small restaurant. Yummy weighs a lot.
Okay, got it.
Rex Simpson is in an amazing spot. Views across to the Southern Alps, the 3,000 metre giants on the horizon, and the perfect base for exploring. That night, we unpacked our ridiculous food haul: venison ragu from John's wife Di, butter chicken, pasta with cream cheese and capers, and settled in with Scrabble and 500. The Scrabble was in German, which made for some interesting words. With 1 bar of cell phone coverage, we even managed to tune in and watch Andrew's debut on Country Calendar, a surreal moment in the mountains.
There were many delights, but the one that springs to mind was on day 1, an 8-hour trip, skinning up about 800 metres to Beuzenberg Peak. I recall skinning up this wandering, peaceful ridgeline and just stopping and taking in the view, the awe of the Alps. Time just seemed suspended. A mate silhouetted on the ridgeline. It was just a magic day.
The next day was the big one, the Royal Tour. The first challenge, crossing Camp Stream. 3 of us rock hopped across with dry boots. Anthony decided to find a better spot and came up with 2 boots full of freezing water. Perfect way to start an 11-hour day.
Memories are built on our experiences, emotions, body reactions, and being with people. Day 2 was definitely a memory. That, if I was to sum up, was endurance, support, and purpose. Things that stand out for me: the extreme pain in traversing icy conditions, trying to keep high and minimise our distance, the Royal Tour. With steep drop-offs, needing to traverse gullies and broken rock and tussock, it just punished the thighs, the searing pain.
My favourite moment, well, that's easy. On the second day when we were doing the big Royal Tour, and frankly, probably bit off more than we could chew, reaching the top of Stag Saddle. I think it's 1,920 metres, the highest point on the Te Araroa Trail. I was pretty happy when we got up there.
Sorry for yourself, Dr. Murray. Fuck my life. Oh my lord.
Good.
Monster.
That ski off Stag Saddle was pure magic. Golden light, soft turns, and the feeling of earning every metre.
The thing that I probably learned more than anything is what can look like a shortcut on a map can very quickly turn into more time and more effort. Existing tracks and previously mapped out ways of getting around the mountains are there because someone else has already worked that out. Unfortunately, we figured that out the hard way. So that's a lesson learned for all of us, I reckon.
But perhaps the last 60 minutes of the day, when we were returning home in moonlight and through into darkness with a flat headlamp skiing between two mates, my tank was absolutely, truly empty. We got there, but carrying my skis up the last small rise before we dropped into Rex. Such a relief to get there. A really hard day.
4 days, perfect weather, good snow where it mattered, and an unbeatable mix of hard work, laughter and mountain time with good mates and new friends. Trips like this remind you adventure isn't just about the peaks you climb, it's about the people you share them with.
Monster.
If I had to sum up the trip in 3 words, that's really easy. I was rooted.